Hello, happy Tuesday. I hope this is really live. Sometimes I tune in live and I really didn't tune in live. I don't know, Facebook. So if there are people out there, holler at me. But I have not gone live in a while. We have been super busy with just, kids, life, traveling, and I am way overdue for this talk. I wanted to talk about hormones. So do not tune me out yet. I am not going to be just talking about oils or what oils and stuff you can use to help your hormones. I want to just give you some scientific facts on hormones and how they work, especially women in our bodies, and why it's very important to have balanced hormones and what this means for our life. This subject is glaringly large in my life now. First of all, I am a registered nurse of almost 11 years, and I am labor and delivery. That is my heart. That was my area. From the minute I did the rotation in nursing school, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So they always tell you, go to med surg, go to just general rotations. And I knew from the minute I was in labor and delivery for my nursing school rotation that was the area I wanted to work in, and I have never wavered from that. So registered nurse of 11 years, labor and delivery is my thing, which means I deal with women and the reproductive system and hormones all the time. And then moving to Chicago, going on my own journey of depression last year and really figuring out hormones and emotions and what does that look like in our body? How can we make it better? How can we be better? It was not fun to go through, but I believe going through it gave me an empathy for people that are going through it or have gone through it or will go through it. I feel like I have a voice in that. And so I am very passionate about this, and I want to just give you some great, break it down science so you understand hormones, what they mean in our life, how we can keep them balanced, how important it is to keep our hormones balanced and live the best life that we can, because we don't need to be hormonal hot messes and we don't have to be. So anyway, hey Lindsay, hey guys, I'm so glad y'all are all watching. So y'all can totally share this with your friends. I don't think I made this public, but I can if y'all need me to. So let's just break it down. This is just gonna be a lot of science at first, but well, that's my UPS man. Condo living. That's not annoying at all when babies are sleeping. So I wanted to break this down to where it is science. I don't bring a lot of science to oils at first because that's overwhelming for people, but I am breaking down the science so you can understand. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna, hold on, I'll be right back. That wasn't awkward at all, was it? They delivered me a book and then they had to deliver something else for someone that needed signing, and that is part of condo living in Chicago. So I get to sign for everyone else, and they ring my buzzer until I answer because they probably saw me through the window. So there is no escaping. Anyway, okay, I promise we're gonna do this. Real life, y'all know I keep it real around here, or I try to at least. So, okay, breaking it down, science, but I want this to be science, but things that you can understand. So this is why I really wanted to do this talk. I did a lot of research this last week. I have mapped it out in some notes, so I'm gonna pay attention to those to keep me on track, to not keep you guys very long, and y'all can watch this later if you need to too. So we have two main primary female sex hormones in our body, estrogen and progesterone. We do have testosterone as well, but I'm not going to talk as much about that today, if at all, because estrogen and progesterone are our two primary female sex hormones that are very, very important to keep balance and working together for our health. So this is how our bodies work as women. Estrogen and progesterone start low after we begin the first day of our cycle. That is after we've completed our period, and we kind of start that cycle upward to ovulation and back into our period. So they start low, kind of the same. Estrogen continues to rise towards ovulation. We want good estrogen before ovulation. Progesterone kind of rises a little bit, but estrogen is going to peak at ovulation, and then it's going to go on a downward a downward curve a little bit. Progesterone starts to rise after ovulation, and why is because progesterone is the hormone that is helping our uterus to have like a thickening of its lining, because it is preparing our body each month for a fertilized egg for pregnancy. So progesterone peaks after ovulation, thickens that uterus lining, gets it ready for pregnancy. If it does not receive a fertilized egg, progesterone goes back down. That's when we begin our period. So then we kind of reset with our period, and then we go through that cycle each month. So it's good, they work together, yin and yang. Xenoestrogens are all around us. Xeno means fake, not real. So you've got not real estrogens that are all around us everywhere. So think beauty products, cleaners, in our meats, in our dairy. They are man-made chemicals to mimic estrogen. Those basically they're just acting as endocrine disruptors because they're fake, they're not real. They're in our plastics, they're in our food, they're in our birth control pills, they're in our hormone replacement therapy, etc. You look at these xenoestrogens and they are everywhere. So I started to be more concerned about this when I had 2 children, especially boys. When we have all these xenoestrogens everywhere, my boys do not need, actually none of us need, but especially my boys do not need this extra estrogen in their body. They do not, they're boys. Us as women, we do not need this fake estrogen in our body through birth control pills, through hormone replacement therapy, through plastic, through meat and dairy especially. Look at all of these things that we're using in our household. They're gonna disrupt our endocrine system, which houses our hormones. So this is super important to pay attention about. Whether you are just gonna try to clean eating, toxin-free living, whatever. Very important, be aware of this, be empowered, take a stand. Super important. So studies are showing that if you took birth control in your 20s, your cancer risk is up by 25%, and if you took them into your 40s, it goes up to 50%. No one that I know thinks cancer is a walk in the park, or it is a fun thing. Cancer is very real. We just lost a dear friend from cancer last month. My grandfather was just diagnosed with cancer several weeks ago. We have a dear friend here in Chicago that was diagnosed with cancer who is 22 years old. It is just not, it's everywhere, and it seems to be everywhere, and it seems to be attacking us younger and younger and sooner in our lives. So I don't accept that. I don't think that's okay. So if I can do anything to help just those rates decrease a little bit, I think I should do it, especially as an empowered mama and wife and individual. I want to do what I can. So that's why I'm educating and just breaking down hormones for you and like what the facts are with all of these crazy rates. Not to scare you. I'm not doing a scare tactic. I just want to give you the facts. So Even our water treatment facilities are not designed to remove hormonal pollutants. Many of these xenoestrogens that I've talked about are proven carcinogens, so proven to increase our cancer risk. It's not just speculated, guys. They're well known for damaging our immune systems and interrupting just our hormonal balance day to day. Our cells cannot always distinguish between our own natural estrogen and xenoestrogens. So they can't really distinguish like all the time what is true, what is natural in our body, and what has been introduced that's mimicking this hormone. So those can clog our receptor sites to block our natural hormones from releasing. So you've got all these amazing receptor sites in our body. They're like little wheels. Like I think they're just cogs to wheels. Like we need these. They're wonderful, great things for our body that the Lord has designed in our body. So, you know, when you have fake things clogging, whether it's our receptor sites or arteries or freaking plumbing of our house, believe me, I dealt with sewage backup yesterday. I am not all about the clogging these days. So you've got all of this kind of clogging your receptor site. And when our natural hormones need to fire and release and feed back and forth with each other and really have that good flow of estrogen, progesterone, and this good marriage, they cannot distinguish that all the time. So you're blocking what you need to come out and be released and work in our body because you've got it clogged with these fake estrogens that are bad and bad for our body. So we're getting this buildup of xenoestrogens that is dominant in our body. So how can we what are simple ways we can cut these xenoestrogens from our life? This is a huge impact on just how you can try to get your estrogen, progesterone, hormone balance in a great place. So cut, less plastic, less, no styrofoam, washing and peeling our fruits and veggies, eating organic meats and dairy, especially because those animals are pumped with hormones all of the time. So try to eat, that's what we try to eat, mostly organic. We can't afford all organic all of the time. I wish we could. We do our best. But dairy and meat are our top things because we know those animals have been just kind of pummeled with lots of hormones and lots of xenoestrogens. So obviously it's in their body, in their meat, in their dairy, what they excrete, which we then ingest and get just as much as they have. And just a plant-rich diet. Like we can't just survive on one serving of greens a week. That's not good for our bodies. It needs to be a lifestyle and consistent. So just plant-rich, great meats, great dairies, paying attention to what we're just feeding our bodies all the time. So those are just super simple ways to cut some of those xenoestrogens from our life. But let's talk about why progesterone is so important in our life. I think we always hear about estrogen, and progesterone is very important. Progesterone is physiologically benefiting our body in many ways. So here's just the top ways when I did a bunch of this research of what I found it is benefiting and why we need this in our life. I don't know, Susan, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can watch it back later on your computer if you need to. Progesterone helps with our uterine lining to help with fertility. We know that infertility is huge this day and age. I can count on more than two hands how many friends and close friends and relatives are dealing with infertility or have dealt with it. So that's not okay. Let's get that back on our side of things. So progesterone helps our uterine lining to help with fertility. It burns fat. I don't know who, especially what woman doesn't want help with that. It calms anxiety and is a natural antidepressant. It prevents cyclical migraines. So sometimes people get cyclical migraines that are just up and down with their cycle. It helps normal sleep patterns. You can use natural progesterones at night because it's a smooth muscle relaxer because it's going to help you sleep. It helps our hormone thyroid function. Even fluoride in our toothpaste displaces our iodine, which affects our thyroid. And when our thyroid is off, that's all correlated into our hormones because it's all a part of the endocrine system. It normalizes normal blood sugar. It helps support normal sex drive, reduces hot flashes and night sweats, so it's great for menopause. It stimulates bone formation, so it's wonderful to protect against osteoporosis. It helps normal blood clotting, and it helps prevent endometrial and breast cancer. Endometrial cancer and breast cancer. It helps support an embryo, and it helps us with breastfeeding. So it's a very important hormone in our body that we need to keep stabilized. So when our progesterone is normal in our life, it decreases our breast cancer rate by 500%. Synthetic hormones increase our cancer risk by 200%. So I am not advocating anyone to just all of a sudden get off of birth control or something you've talked about with your doctor, but I do think it is something that we need to be very aware of and do our own research. And if you do want to get off of those things or try something different like a natural progesterone for better hormone balance, you need to talk to your doctor. You need to do a lot of research and kind of bring that to them and say, this is really what I want to do. I want to go more natural route. How can we do that? Let's work together. So I think you should very much consider the effects of that before you get on any birth control or hormone replacement therapy, and really do your research. So anyway, that's my 2 cents about that, but I'm not advocating for you just to stop medication. So talk to your doctor, do your research. Anyway, so in a nutshell, when we have a progesterone deficiency, when our progesterone is too low, which is not good, which increases our breast cancer rates, increases our cancer rate, makes us have headaches and, lots of things that I'm about to go into, but not good. So when we have a progesterone deficiency, that is going to automatically equal an estrogen dominance, which automatically heightens our risk for breast cancer. So with estrogen, most of us are estrogen dominant. So it automatically makes us progesterone deficient and estrogen dominant. We don't want to be estrogen dominant at all, because that is going to increase our risk for cancer and trouble. So what are some symptoms of estrogen dominance? Why am I going to go over symptoms? Because we know our body's best. How many times have you gone to the doctor, had normal blood work, or just gone and known something was off, and it showed it was, because you know your body the best. So we can go based off of symptoms on things, especially like when it comes to medication. Even when you're on different medications for different symptoms, the doctor, knowing how to adjust your medication more or less, adjust it based on your symptoms most of the time. So pay attention to your body. Don't be afraid to verbalize those things. So what are some symptoms of estrogen dominance? Anxiety, breast tenderness, cyclical headaches or migraines, depression, digestive issues, palpitations, and more. So really just pay attention to your body, see if anything's off. You know if something's off. I knew last year something was off when I could not barely get out of bed or shower or just be there for my kids. I was just blue. I just knew something was off. I did not need a doctor to tell me that or anyone else to tell me that. I knew it myself. And so just pay attention. You can totally go in and get labs drawn or get a saliva test, which is super accurate. So anyway, I'm gonna get into that. But if estrogen levels stay unopposed, so not this perfect marriage of estrogen and progesterone, we're gonna experience things like infertility, amenorrhea, which is just no period, endometriosis, uterine cancer, weight gain, heart disease, stroke, etc. Those are serious things. That's not something to take lightly. I actually went through amenorrhea after I got off birth control of 6.5 years ago. I just felt convicted just not to be on a synthetic hormone anymore. Chad and I talked about it. It was our decision, my decision. Did a lot of research as a nurse and tried to fight that for a little bit, and then finally said, I just don't think I need to be on this. And it took a very long time for me to even have a period again, because my body had gotten so used to a synthetic hormone. I just don't think it's good. I need to have that natural, that's what God created us for, a natural cycle. So how do you know? You can go to your doctor, like I said, get some labs drawn. Sometimes the labs come back kind of looking normal. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to your symptoms. You know yourself first. But even if blood work comes back normal, you can kind of feel estrogen dominant, or you can actually feel progesterone deficient. A saliva test is really accurate, and I think you can get some of those online. I could do some research if I needed to, but those are very accurate tests about progesterone, which is interesting. Sorry people. A common question for people that are on synthetic progesterone is they clearly state to use those only like the last half of your cycle. And they ask, if they start using a natural progesterone, do we need to be cyclical with our use? The answer is no. The drug companies do not want you to be on progesterone and synthetic progesterone for an extended period of time because they know it's bad. They know it increases your cancer risk. They know that there are effects of that. So they want you on that drug the least amount of time as possible. So with a natural, completely natural progesterone, you don't have to be cyclical with it because it's natural. It is not going to do anything in your body it's not fake, it's natural. So it's not going to raise those risks and give you that bad warning label. But it also decreases our risk for things too, because you're on a natural progesterone. So anyway, drug companies know that synthetic progesterone increases our cancer rates, stroke, blood clots, etc. So they just want to limit that, how much you are on that hormone. So just know that there is a reason it says that and to pay attention to that. So what's our first step in helping our bodies? Detox your environment. Look at your cleaners and deodorant and body care. Replace as much as you can with natural products. I encourage you to download the Think Dirty app. Even things on the drugstore shelves or Target or whatever that says all natural organic are rating very high on the Think Dirty app and not good for you. Be empowered. Make those good decisions. Deodorant has aluminum in it, most deodorants, and we are putting it on our armpits. For us as women, that is very close to the breast, those lymph nodes. It's not a wonder that we are younger and younger, having cancer and having issues and having problems. Find a natural deodorant. I actually have a recipe that is amazing that I really need to remake probably by next week. I was just looking at it today and it's getting low. It works like a dream. I've tried 2 recipes now because a lot of people said the drugstore ones don't work like Tom's and whatever. And so I've made 2 to test them out. First one worked okay for a while and then kind of like didn't work as well. And then this one has been wonderful. Chad and I both rave about it, and I will make that for you guys next week because I can show you how easy it is to make deodorant. But all of that's important, so just detox your environment. I am trying to do that step by step. It does not come overnight. Please don't overwhelm yourself. Please don't think this is just a lost cause, because one little small change over time is going to turn into a lot of big changes, and it's just better for your body and your family's little developing bodies and your husband and people you know and love. It's okay. One little small change at a time. What I recommend always, like I'm just gonna put a blurb out there, Thieves Cleaner Concentrate has replaced every single cleaner in my house. It's awesome. It's $22 for this 14 ounce, and I make a soft scrub with it and an all-purpose spray. My kids can help me clean. It does not say on here hazardous to animals and humans. I looked at so much stuff at Target the other day and it says, caution, hazard to humans and domestic animals. And we're using it and we think it's okay. And it says, please, poison control, here, drink a lot of water. I don't have to drink any water if like I ingest this or something. It's awesome. Boost my immune system at the same time. Anyway, so that's my plug. If you really want to detox a lot of your house, get this, it's awesome. And super cheap, it's like 30 cents for each time I make up a spray bottle of it with some water. So you can't even beat that at Target. And then decrease your stress. So diet and stress are huge in our life. when we're talking about like all these estrogens being dominant in our body and us just not being able to like clear out receptor sites and be in a good balance. So decrease your stress. Synthetic drugs are not the answer for that. They're not the quick fix. Take a deep breath. I actually would love to share an emotional hormone or emotional talk about this in the coming weeks, but I want to do a lot more research for that because I use a lot of my oils for emotional support. I have a lot of Jesus in my life, a lot of coffee, and a lot of oils. So it's very interesting the more research I've done and I'm doing, how emotions are very much affected by our sense of smell, and that is the only thing that can trigger our amygdala, which triggers our memories. Anyway, it's so fascinating and interesting, and the science nerd in me loves all that stuff. So decrease stress, sleep, and clean up your diet, especially with meat and dairy. So, of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about oils, but this is because this is so dear to my heart, and I have been using this oil for 1.5 years, serum for 1.5 years from Young Living to balance out my progesterone. I got a little crazy when Fields was about 10 months old. Hey, Monique. When Fields was about 10 months old, I was still breastfeeding, and my cycle came back, and I started that emotional roller coaster of, here we go. All right. So is it better? My little baby is coming up. I gave it like 2 months and was still kind of crazy. So my little baby is, almost a year. Like, I feel like it's a big goal to make it a year with breastfeeding. So I knew I was close to that. So I wanted to do research. Is this safe to use when breastfeeding? I want to do the right thing. I want to be, making the right decisions. Don't we all? So I said, well, he's close to a year. And if anything happens to decrease my milk supply with this serum, it's better than wanting to run out and never come back, or be super frustrated with my kids and then remember me as monster mom. Let's just be real. It's very hard to be a parent, to be an adult. So that's just my real life confession. I love my boys, but it's hard. It's hard sometimes, stressful. So I use Progessence Plus. This, if you open this up, you can hear angels sing. Not kidding. Like, they're singing in there, and they are loving it. Supposed to use this stuff. Women, this is awesome. Dr. Dan Purser is an endocrinologist in California, has done a lot of research about Progessence Plus. He has made a whole PDF about it, and should you take it, should you not? What if I'm on birth control? What if, is this going to increase my breast cancer risk? How should I use it? When should I use it? All of those questions, like a big page, several page PDF. I'll post the link in the comments for y'all to see and do your own reading for all ages. So this is, yes, Monique, this is teens, premenopause, perimenopause, postmenopause. It is a completely natural progesterone. So I am not going to tell you to go do something to increase your breast cancer risk or cancer risk and make you worse. This, I started it, and about 5 weeks later noticed more energy. I was sleeping better. I was just more even keeled. I got off the roller coaster and said, peace out, because I don't have time for that, and I don't know who has time for that or who even wants that. So I started Progessence Plus. I use it every single night. Now I have like a stainless steel roller fitment on it from Young Living, so I just roll it on my forearms and down each carotid artery. But at first, when you start, just kind of like put it on, get it into that bloodstream, people. 2, 3, 4 drops at night. It's a smooth muscle relaxer, so use it at night just because your body's going to get used to it. Kind of start balancing out again, raising that progesterone. Most of us women are deficient in progesterone, which again automatically makes us estrogen dominant. So you really want to pay attention to your progesterone. Carotid artery, yes. So forearms, put some drops on there. What I used to do is put my finger in the drops that I already dropped and swipe it down each carotid artery. So here's our carotid down each side. And all that does is it gets into your bloodstream super fast. So we know when we put oils on or anything on our skin is our biggest organ. It is getting into our body. Roller coaster as in, no, not just depression, just that emotional roller coaster that we experience month to month with our estrogen and progesterone rising. Like some days I felt crazy, some days I felt more quick to anger, some days I felt bluesy, some days I was super happy. But just to kind of balance that roller coaster out, not be as high and low, maybe just a little bit more balanced. But then I did several other things when I went through my depression on top of my progesterone, because I knew it was more of an emotional versus hormonal imbalance, because I knew I was probably pretty imbalanced already because I had been on this for almost a year. So I've been using this a year and a half and will always use this. It's amazing, lasts me like 4 to 5 months, and angels really do sing when you open it, I promise. So you've got Progestins Plus, favorite. Prinalone is a natural DHEA, which is a precursor to the balance of hormones. You know, that's like your estradiol, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. So that's just a good one. Prinalone Plus is just a ointment that is from Young Living. I should have grabbed it and I didn't, but you just put a pea-sized amount on your inner ankles. Anyway, that's all you gotta do at night. No big deal. Ladies Sclerol is another hormone for us that can just be really, really great for that time of the month. You don't necessarily have to use it all the time. You totally can, but that's just a really great kind of emotional hormonal balance oil. And then for perimenopause, so in the midst of menopause, sclerescence is a really great oil. You can take it internally, you can use it topically. It is a plant-based estrogen. So as I talked about before, we have man-made estrogens, fake estrogens out there. This is not a fake estrogen, it is a plant-based estrogen. So it doesn't carry the same breast cancer, stroke, clot risk. So use it however you feel comfortable, whether you want to ingest it in a capsule or a spoonful of honey, or if you don't feel comfortable ingesting, which is totally fine in your decision, use it on your skin. Adjust it based on your symptoms. Like, you know, it's not going to hurt you. Oils aren't going to kill you. I probably am better because I know I'm better because I have Progestins Plus on my side. And then you've got just really great oils to boost your mood just through those different cycles of the month, because we're still going to cycle because we're women. So you've got like Lang Ylang, Sacred Mountain, Joy. Those are just really great oils to balance and support your emotions during that little bit of maybe bluesy PMS time. Use however you like in the diffuser, on your skin, whatever. When you have those down moments, have those oils on hand. Train your body that it's amazing to smell and, you know, like, it's awesome. Cypress is a really great oil for us women because it is really great for circulation. So you can use this on your abdomen, really great for circulation, and you can use it on your, you know, you can just use it a lot. Cypress is really great for circulation. So just keep that in your brain, and if you want to know more, you can message me. But Endoflex is a wonderful oil to support normal, healthy thyroid, which we talked about thyroid. Adrenals are in the mix. That is huge in our hormone housing system. We want our thyroid to be on point. So you can put 2 to 3 drops over your thyroid or adrenals, whatever you like, but Endoflex, or you can take it internally. Endoflex is a wonderful oil for healthy thyroid function. So that is that. I just wanted to talk about hormones, and sorry dudes, but most of y'all have women in your life. Guess what? All of you do. So you're gonna, maybe you glean some wisdom, but it's okay. Let's just be empowered. Don't be freaked out. Don't get off all your medications. I'm not an advocate of that, but be empowered. And I hope to talk about emotions in the weeks to come, and what emotions can support, what oils can support our emotions, and how exactly that works, so you don't think I'm cuckoo crazy. But just these things that I've learned about with balancing estrogen and progesterone has just changed my world. You can ask my husband if you want to. It's been really such a blessing. And just figuring out, like, even just more toxins I can get rid of in our house, like detergent and cleaners and stuff that I'm using on the boys, like shampoo and bath gel, and even their toothpaste. So know that we have a choice in that, and we can make wise choices, and we don't have to be bullied by higher powers, I guess. So I hope that helped. It's just something super near and dear to my heart. And yeah, I will post that PDF about Progestins Plus in the comments, and I will catch you guys later. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.